Friends from Astolinks. They've joined us because you know that Astolinks is an overseas education advisory firm registered in Ghana, and they specialize in studying abroad to countries such as Australia, Canada, UK, USA, New Zealand, Ireland, and many more. And today we'll be looking at the pitfalls to avoid and some of the packages Astolink has to support students who have interest in studying abroad. We're joined by Richard Obing-Esuming, who's CEO, and Nana Eyim JC, who is Business Development Manager. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Winston.
I believe all of you are doing well. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. By God's grace, it is well.
Great. So let's get straight to it. I know that you have exciting packages, but before we get into the packages, what are some of the pitfalls that students should consider when they're making a decision to study abroad, Richard?
Good morning once again to our cherished listeners and viewers across the globe. If you want to study or travel abroad in general, one of the first things I would advise you to avoid is make sure any document you are going to submit, to the best of your knowledge, you know the document is genuine. If not, these days, they will find out whatever you are submitting. So whether you are providing information or documents, if you provide any document that seems not to be genuine, if any of the embassies find out, they will refuse you the visa and at the same time ban you. UK will ban you for about 10 years, US 10 years, Australia, Canada for 5 years, and other countries. So we want to encourage people who want to genuinely study or travel that, as far as you are concerned, never submit a document that you know very well that is not genuine. Bank statement, educational document, employment document.
Sure.
We are in digital age. They will find out and you will refuse. Secondly, providing misleading information. For example, a client of mine was refused a visa to the UK. The reason was that he had been to the Togo before. But when he was asked, have you traveled outside Ghana before? He said no. Meanwhile, there was a Togo stamp. This applicant never thought Togo is an international travel. So he said no, and as a result of that, his application was refused and he was banned. And some applicants also, if they have been refused visa, so far as there's no stamp in their passport, they try to hide it. So this information too, if you do not disclose them, you'll be refused a visa. Secondly, for study abroad, we are saying that do not just choose to study in any country. The fact that you want to travel does not mean just go to any country. There are countries Ghana economy is far better than. And so if you want to travel, don't just say because you want to travel, you are going to any country. Choose a country where there are economic policies and values that can help your future career and educational goals. A Western world, like if you're going to Australia, UK, US, New Zealand, Ireland, and the Schengen countries, they are fantastic. Number two, don't just also choose any course. If you're going to spend millions of Ghanaian cedis or thousands of cedis to study, and you choose to study any course that is of no really value at the moment, at the end of the day, you won't be competitive. So we always want to encourage our clients that if you want to study in any country, choose to study high in demand programs. These high in demand programs will create a lot of opportunities for you in the country. And even in Ghana, when you come to our country, Ghana, we are saying there's no employment in Ghana. But then there are courses if you graduate with and you come to Ghana right now, you're gonna get a future here. Great. So these are some of the pitfalls I would want to share for now.
So let me find out from you, Nana JC, what are the study destinations where you recruit your students to, and why you choose, these countries or these destinations?
Great. Good morning, our cherished listeners and viewers across the globe. We send our students to UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Denmark, and many more. We send them to those countries to have a world-class qualification with excellent reputation in teaching and research. And when you have a qualification of that nature, you stand out and have a competitive advantage over your peers. And also, you have access to a post-study work permit.
Okay.
Before that, you have access to work 20 hours per week and full-time on vacations. And after graduation, you have access to have a work permit. Some of the countries, you have up to 4 years. And a country like Denmark when you do your studies there, specifically in engineering, you have 100% job guaranteed. And I'll use my CEO as an example, Richard. He studied in the UK, and he had an opportunity to work in the UK, generated some funds and came back and injected in the business. And this is how far Astolinks is. And also, when you study in those destinations, you build a network and have intercultural experiences. Studying overseas provide a great opportunities for you to meet and interact with people from diverse background. You understand? And it helps you improve intercultural experiences and also broaden one's perspective. That's the main reason why we send students to these countries.
Okay. So I mean, Richard, a lot of people may be asking themselves the question, so why do I need Astolinks? I can just apply, get a visa, and then I'm gone. Why do I need to channel all these through Astolinks? What do you say to them?
Okay. It's like, why do you need a doctor? Why do you need a lawyer? Why do you need educational consultant? I've been doing this business for 18 years. Astolinks is 18 years. Mm-hmm. We've recruited students to all over the world. We have professional, strong alumni. We have people in politics, in legal, health, education, all sectors of the economy. We've got them. You need to deal with or work through Astolinks simply because we are a company with integrity. We are honest. We are faithful. You know, the travel industry, people studying abroad or travel, there are a lot of scams in this field. But I would say that you need to work with Astolinks because we will provide you the right advice and give you the right information. The fact that you've got money or you have qualification to study in any country does not mean you should just go. We will look at your profile, assess it to ensure that you are going to the right country. We'll make sure that you are doing the right course that, as I said earlier on, a course that is high in demand to ensure at the end of the day, when you graduate and you are looking for opportunities around the world, you will be competitive. Mm-hmm. Number 3, we understand immigration laws and we'll make sure that you are given all the right information. For example, as I said earlier on, an applicant didn't know that traveling to Nigeria or Togo, Benin or Cote d'Ivoire is an international travel. And genuinely, when he was applying for the visa, they asked him, have you traveled outside Ghana? He said no. Meanwhile, there was a stamp in Cote d'Ivoire border in his passport and he was refused and banned. If such applicant had come to us, we would have advised him that all these are important. There are clients who have applied for visas and they have been refused. Probably they even did it through a previous agent, but the agent didn't tell them the reasons why they were refused. If you come to Astolinks, we will make sure we fish out all this information, your previous immigration history. So assuming you came to Astolinks and said you have been refused a visa to say Canada or US or UK before, we are not going to process your application. We have to find out what happened that your visa was refused. Is there any reason why your visa was refused? We also want to probably get our lawyers involved to make sure they get your immigration history to tell us exactly. For example, maybe you did your application through an agent where you used a fraudulent document. Your application was refused. You were banned. But the agent just gave you your passport and said that your application was not successful, but you don't know the reason why. Now you have the money, you meet the requirement. You now want to continue to study or travel. You apply and the visa officer will tell you that you have, because of your previous immigration history, they cannot give you visa. If you came to us, we will know this and will advise you. Okay. So these are some of the reasons why you need to come to Astolinks, and based on this, we should be able to advise our clients.
Great. So talking about coming to Astolinks, tell us the new packages that you have for those listening to us and Ghanaians as a whole. What are the new packages that you have?
Winston, one of the challenges or the main challenges facing international students like you and I who may want to leave the shores of Ghana to study in the countries Nana mentioned is financing or funding your studies, paying your tuition fees and your living expenses. But we have a solution here at Astolinks. If you are a student below 40 years or you intend to study in Australia, Canada, focus on now USA, Canada and UK. We can help you to get a student loan to finance your education. Terms and conditions For example, if you are below 40 years and you want to study in the United States at postgraduate level, you are going to study a high in demand program, we will let you know. We can help you to get a loan to finance your education. Same thing applies to if you are going to Canada. And you're a postgraduate student, we should be able to help you to get a loan to finance your tuition fees and living expenses. If you're an undergraduate student, you have completed high school, polytechnic, training college, you are going to do an undergraduate program, a high in demand, as we call STEM programs. We also can get you a loan up to 75% to cover your tuition fees and your living expenses. And then you come to Almighty UK. This is a new package. We now have a loan company in the UK that is providing funding opportunities for Ghanaian prospective applicants who want to study in UK up to 50%. So once you get admission to one of our partner higher education institutions in the UK, at the end of the day, and you are choosing to do the right course, we can help you get 50% of your tuition fee, so that when you go, you don't have to struggle to overwork yourself, overstretch yourself to get to complete your course.
Let me find out from Nana Jesse what the eligibility criteria for a loan to study in the UK and US are before we get to even the UK period. I mean, so we're looking at the US and Canada before we get to the UK. Yes,
exactly. With the criteria for Canada specifically, those who are going to pursue undergraduate programs, you will need a good WASI, at least C3, C5 in English and maths. And also, it should not be more than 32 years. As my boss said, the loan company caters for 75% of your tuition, and you, the student, will pay for the 25%. And also, those who are going to pursue a postgraduate, a master's program, you need to have a 3-year work experience if you are going to pursue an MBA. And if you are going to pursue a STEM program is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If you are going to pursue those programs, you need a 1-year work experience. And also, there are no strict age bracket for those who are going to pursue masters. But it's always advisable you should be within 40 years. So that's what we advise students on. And also, you will need a GRE or GMAT or English proficiency score, a higher English proficiency score. And with all these, we have a department that takes students through some of the training. So when it happens like that, we take them through the training and get a qualification. And with this funding, we don't just help students to help them to alleviate some of their expenses, but it helps them to submerge into college experiences without worrying or thinking about financial struggles.
So that's Canada. How about the US?
They have a similar.
Yes,
exactly.
Now then, let me bring you to the UK, Richard. Tell us about the study in UK loan, because we know that most Ghanaian postgraduate students go to the UK. Tell us about that one.
Yes. So, as I said earlier on, you must be a Ghanaian or a Nigerian. It's for international students. You must receive unconditional offer of admission to an eligible higher education institution in the UK. You must have secured admission again to an acceptable course, not every course, and other terms which, when we have our prospective client engaging us, we should be able to advise them. So and then you should be able to prove that you can finance 50% of their fees. Most UK universities require students to be able to pay a deposit. So depending on the school may ask you to pay, say, 1,000, 2,000, or say up to 50% or whatever. And then if you this is genuinely for those who may need it, not for everyone. If your parents have the funds to be able to support you, or employers, or you have a scholarship from other third-party organizations, you don't need it. But people who genuinely, for example, my mother, who is a trader in Makola or KGTI in Kumasi, who is a petty trader, can support me to pay 50%, but will not have all the money. Then, but says that, Richard, get a loan, and every month I can pay maybe a bit, I can pay the rest in installment to support you, but go for the loan in advance. We are looking for such people, but not somebody like maybe Winston.
Anyway, so if somebody wants to, is interested and wants to study abroad, what should they do in commencing the process? Nana.
Okay, thank you. Before I move on to that, I want to give for those who want to pursue masters in US and Canada, you need a good second upper and at least a good second lower. And also, I want to highlight on the loan component. They pay for 100% tuition. So that's for those who want to pursue masters. And back to your question, for you to commence the process with us, you need to gather all your documents, your passport, your CV, and other educational docs, and you can walk to any of our offices in Ghana. Our experienced counselors will take you through free one-on-one counseling and assist you accordingly.
Okay, so how do we reach you then? Now that we can walk to any of your offices, where are they? But let's make it easy. Which numbers can we call?
Okay, our offices. We have an office in Accra here, just adjacent the Baoleshi Melcom, and it's at 4A Purpose Street, East Legon.
Okay.
And we have an office in Kumasi at the Kumasi City Mall basement.
Oh, okay.
Yes, exactly, just close to the elevator, right? Then we have an office in Takrady, in Gapoa Credit Union Building, just behind the Bank of Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes, in Takrady, and we have an office in the UK as well. Anybody can reach us there, can visit our offices, and as well as online.
How do we call? Do you have any numbers?
Okay, so let me take the opportunity. We are in a global world now, so if you are listening to us, you want to connect with Astolinks, due to maybe the nature of your work or your current proximity, you can engage us through online. And just go online, www.astolinks.net, or on our social media. Just go Astolinks, and depending on where you are, you can reach out to us. We can use Zoom technology, Teams, whatever, to engage and connect with you. You can speak to Nana directly on 053 715 2118. Let me repeat the number again. 053 715 2118. 053 715 2118. And as he said, currently I'm in Ghana and in Accra office. We are on 4A Purpose Street, East Legon, adjacent to Melcom. People can work in free counseling. We give you all the advice, all the information, and if you're eligible, we onboard you.
Great. Thank you very, very much, Richard Obiansumi, who is CEO of Astolinks, and Nana JC, who is Business Development Manager also of Astolinks.